You don't want to look at me, Sean? She gonna sashay.
There you go, sashay, huh?
It's the That's Just It podcast show.
Yeah, back in the house. Back in the house.
I'd like to start off with an apology to Miles. Last show we told him to be quiet. He couldn't talk. So we ended up with half a motherfucking show. And then no show the next week.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to show you. I'm not even going to complete the show, right?
None of you.
Yeah. Right. So we sorry, Miles, because we like our show. Right. We appreciate our show.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've been looking on YouTube for our show for the last couple weeks.
Nobody looking for you, Otis.
That's all right. We got 45, 50 people that look for us continuously. And shout out to our 45, 50 favorite fans. Yeah. And we go, right. We start with 50, and when we get 5,000, y'all still gonna be our favorite.
No, yeah, we should definitely get a screenshot of who the first 50 followers were for real.
I agree.
That's a good idea.
And then do something.
We actually have like 94 followers.
Okay, but are they in line as?
I have no idea. I don't even know how to look at each follower.
Okay,
but I just
know the number.
I started when I show somebody the show on the thing, you subscribe.
Right.
I do it for them
all day,
and they be old too. Yeah, I do it like that. Why you working my head? See, that's why you had to be quiet. See this nigga. So, Lou's not in the house.
All right.
So he can't start with this the way we start our show, our intro. But so we're gonna do our intro with 3 people.
All right.
Our title of the show today is "You Saw My Blinkher, Bitch." Damn, how did that go?
What year did that song come out?
I don't know.
1990.
Thank you.
It was 90.
Because that was your shit, Alan. Yes, that was Will Smith's hardest song. So the title is "You Saw My Blinkher, Bitch." And we're going to find out how we got there after we do our intro.
All right.
So, since the intro is attached to Will Smith, we going to do, if I was a rapper, we going to do rappers.
Do rappers, okay.
We going to do rappers. Mm-hmm. You got your chips out your mouth. Don't put another. I'm coming to you first, man. Right. You about to eat another.
I'm like, why you coming to me first?
This is what we do every week.
About to eat.
See, this is the problem. If you don't even realize that I come to you every week, that is the problem right there.
I'm waiting for you to do something
You should be ready. That's the whole problem.
He had that chip ready.
Yes.
My man.
I'm like, look, I'm eating, nigga. Don't stay away from me.
My man, Profound Rucker.
All right.
Welcome back. Happy Easter. And that we missed Easter. Okay. Well, Easter probably don't fuck with you either.
Damn, that was harsh.
Probably don't.
Right. Right. How you know? Right. That's like, ooh, this demon.
He don't like painting no eggs or nothing.
Right. I don't paint no eggs. I don't like bunnies.
Like no cat.
I don't like none of that.
I don't like chocolate.
No.
Unless
It makes no sense, neither one of them.
Yeah,
Bunny
they
or
used
the
to
egg.
call me chocolate, so I don't like chocolate.
What the hell?
No
I don't
Cadbury
know.
bunnies or nothing.
No caramel.
No baskets.
Don't want to go to
No
church that
basket.
day. Can't
No
sit
basket.
nowhere.
At least gonna come to church, man.
Man, you can't even sit nowhere.
No fake grass. You don't even like fake grass.
Nope. No.
I don't even want the grass in the basket.
I don't want to get no tight ass Easter suit, none of that.
Okay, so rappers, we'll give you one that it should be, it shouldn't be no problem. Let's go. If I was Tupac, how would you greet me?
Holla if you hear me.
Holla if you
There you
hear
go.
me.
There you go.
All right. My man, Pastor Sean.
Jesus is Lord.
Jesus is Lord.
Amen.
If I was Big Daddy Kane, because that's your favorite,
That's my
how
favorite.
would you greet me?
Ooh, if he was Big Daddy Kane. Let me see, because there's so many songs.
He tried not to get in trouble at church.
Right.
Oh, no. I'll spit Big Daddy now. I'll speak
Hey, he got some songs you ain't supposed to be
Let's
listening
see.
to.
If I was Big Daddy Kane, I'll greet you by saying I get the job done.
My man, I get the job done.
Yeah.
That would have been even greater if we didn't take so long to get there.
I'll work.
We didn't take all that time to get there. That would have been like, pow.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, one day, like on the 45th episode, we'll probably get the pow, pow, pow.
One day we'll get.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
My man, Des Cortez. Glad to see you, my brother.
You too, my brother. Thank you.
If I was LL Cool J, how would you greet me?
Find me some ladies who love Cool James.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about
He popped the lip.
I don't know about the lip thing.
Yeah.
That's what he does, though. That's his thing, though. That's his thing, though.
But it was the sound.
Yeah, the size of the pop.
It was the sound.
Look at my lips. Is it? I don't do it.
Look, the thing was, my head was down. All I heard was the pop.
You missed it. It was.
Yeah. He said,
I don't even know what it looked like.
I just heard them. I was like this.
I was just lick my lips look.
Exactly. Like you about to turn the motherfucking mic. What the fuck?
Right, because that's what we do as
That's
actors.
what he do.
That's what
he does.
we do as actors.
known for
We
the tongue. Look
exaggerate,
at his
especially
lips.
stage actors. You got to show them exactly what you're
Right.
doing because it's
Hey,
the
man.
camera.
I heard
It's for the camera.
I heard he bought
It was for the
Carmex.
camera. Huh?
I heard he's the new owner of Carmex.
Could be. Why not?
There's lip gloss somewhere.
Ladies love. That's what LL Cool J means. Ladies love Cool J.
Right.
Exactly.
Luscious
Man,
lips.
I'm gonna do another one next.
Luscious lips, Cool J. No luscious lips. All right. So in the house tonight, we have a special guest.
All right.
And as I do all the time, I like for you to introduce yourself because you can introduce yourself way better than I can, and then I'm gonna add in some stuff in the way, let's do it.
All right. Well, I guess I'll come in kind of cold. My name is Allen. Some people know me as F. Allen. My closest friends know me as F. Allen, the king of all, the best that ever did it, and ruler of all he surveys.
All right.
And that would be my introduction.
All right.
That was on
Okay.
HBO. I think I saw that on HBO.
All right.
Right. So
I answer
since-
my business phone that way.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure we're gonna get way deeper than that because you gave that light intro. So let me say this: I've been knowing Alan for about 35 years.
All right.
You don't remember, I knew of you, and like you was the big cousin.
Okay.
You that's why I knew of you, and then you was, even though I wasn't around you, I knew you because I would come to the family events, and you was the hero cousin. You had all the women, the curly hair.
Sound like you was stalking your cousin.
But he not my cousin.
Oh, okay.
He's a good friend of mine's cousin. Maybe I didn't introduce that. A good friend of mine, we grew up together.
Right.
Since he played hockey and stuff. And that's Alan's cousin.
Okay.
And so Alan was like when I did a concert and stuff, Alan did the posters and stuff like that. Alan, you did photography for Billy K. Sign, right? Or the magazines. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are stuff that you leaving out. So I remember you going to, even selling the articles to the catalogs. You remember that? Y'all used to sell the catalogs and then go to the hair shops and have to drop the magazines off, and the girls would buy them.
Yeah. So if you wanted to run a resume like that, so basically I was just in small business advertising. If I said it in just a couple sentences. So what I would do is we would start with some micro businesses. All you needed was $500 in a business card and a phone. I had a Metro PCS store too. So, we would just put a lot of people in the business or perpetuate people that were in business.
Okay,
All right.
and that's the way you saying it, but I'm saying it like this because I'm still like, this is like Wonder Years shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the young dog, you the older dude. So you go all to the hair shops and all the women know you. And then when they had the hair shows and stuff, we would get in because you would, work that out to however we worked it out. We would get in because of you.
Okay.
So I'm saying, I just know the light skinned guy, good hair, the women. I didn't know about your life and everything.
Right.
So, over the years, I've known you going into your studio. You've done my headshots for my photo, my acting headshots, and 2 weeks ago we went in to do a photography shoot, and me and you sat down and we had a conversation.
Right.
and I found out something about you that I didn't know. And it was at a time when we just had did our show about the young lady shooting her husband in the back of the head.
Oh, okay.
So we were talking about women being violent and how it gets to that point, because that's always there's big thing. How does it get to that point?
Exactly.
So before you want to tell that story, because I can't tell it. Like
yeah. So what's happened was we were talking about the what he said, the young lady. We were talking about violence and. You guys know the story, ladies.
Right.
Okay, so we don't have to really get into that. Or I guess for the show, for those that don't know, a young lady was on social media live. And she, they basically had a recorder popping her man in the head, and I guess it came out, which I assumed you knew,
right.
Because it was in the middle of our knowing each other in that time span.
Right. I don't know how old you were when it happened. So
it was like 2001 when it happened.
Okay, 2001. So now we know 2001. Go ahead, paint the picture. Let us know what happened.
And so, what I guess a lot of people don't know is that I was an extreme victim of domestic violence because I was stabbed 4 times by my girlfriend at the time.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes I use it as a turnaround when people ask certain questions without really understanding, like from a standpoint of being a victim of domestic violence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a nice turnaround to give people. Because it's something they're not expecting, and it's still something you can communicate, to and from. I remember I was 27 years old,
okay,
and I only remember that I was 27 because I couldn't wait to be 29 because I knew that this day would be a year behind me. Mm-hmm. And I was stabbed so bad that if I came in 15 years prior, the doctor said they wouldn't have been able to save me.
Wow.
Because they didn't have the technology to fix you.
Really?
It was a wild story too, because I'm getting there, and I didn't even think that I was like in really grave danger. And I remember.
So first, how long did you know this young lady?
Maybe a couple years. No. Well, it was kind of like with you. I knew her for a long time, and then we ended up getting together, and we were together for about maybe a year and a half.
Okay.
But I knew her for a long time, just like as an acquaintance.
Right.
But then we ended up getting together, and
Okay. Before you get into the story, the first thing I asked, did you notice any red flags?
At the time, no. I may have been a red flag at the time.
And why is that?
Because back then I stayed in I wouldn't leave a relationship, or I would stay in a relationship for principle. Now I'm speaking in hindsight too, so I can I can kind of go back and forth. I can jump between my mind then and my mind now.
Okay.
So bear with me. I stayed in relationships for principle, meaning I may have wanted to leave a relationship, but I need to prove that I was right about the reasons that I was leaving.
Okay.
And so it makes
That's deep right there.
No, that makes sense.
yeah,
That makes a lot of
it's
sense.
like because X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm talking about, and this is why I'm leaving, and that's my grand exit. Right?
And it's like she got to deserve that. You got to deserve for me to leave.
You got to make
Right.
Yeah, you got to deserve it.
Right.
Yeah, but that's staying in something for principle, right?
Right. Exactly.
They always got this thing in relationships, like if you didn't see it, if you can't prove it, then you have to be in it. I don't believe that that's true. Now I'm jumping to my
current self.
Yeah, current self.
Okay.
All I have to do is feel it, think it, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. That's for a court of law. My heart and my immediate being is not a court of law. Now I'm the law of that.
Okay.
Right. So I don't. If it's not that, so what? In my world, it is, and I'll exit because of it. Likewise, she could exit too,
Right.
Because if I'm not doing the things that perpetuate what she needs to feel, or she thinks a certain way, then it's true. If you think it is true, or it's true to you, and I don't have to prove anything to exit.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, and I mean, I'm gonna just ask this right quick, and then you guys can. I'm sure things are going on in your mind. A couple weeks we were talking about the girl pushing buttons, women pushing buttons.
Okay.
And that's what was going on in that situation. Even though she ended up shooting him, we kind of said that she was not kind of said, she was definitely pushing his buttons
yes.
before it got to that point. Was some of that going on in what happened in your situation? Were you pushing buttons? Was she pushing buttons?
No, I'm definitely a button pusher. Right when it comes to like arguments and stuff like that, you can, I'll like, for instance, if we're having a conversation and I need to nail you to a point, I'll make you tell me 2 or 3 different times so I can triangulate your entire position, and that way you don't have a way out of it.
Gotcha.
I'm good at that. And you never negotiate with yourself. So if you say something, I'll ask. I say, tell me that again in a different way, so maybe I can understand it.
Right.
And once I understand where you're coming from, I will surround that point, and I could spin it. I could manipulate it. I could take the head off of it if I'm 100% right. If not, I can spin it to make it excusable. Excusable in the least, completely right at its worst, depending on the disposition you want to take. So I was definitely a button pusher.
At that moment, were you a button pusher?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody's going to stab you, they just don't like you.
Exactly.
You can't push a button to make somebody hurt you like that.
Ain't no stab.
That's a whole other level of vitriol.
And was there moments that built up? Was it a build up?
Yeah, it was a build up. I think that in a lot of relationships like that, even the police could see it because they had came to our house a week earlier.
And y'all stayed together?
Yeah,
y'all
we lived
was
together.
living together.
And the police came, and the police said, we're going to be back, and it's not good. So through their experience, and
They
my
already
younger
saw
self,
it.
they already knew. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why didn't you leave before? When the police came that first time and they saw that it wasn't going to work, why didn't you leave the situation?
Because I was principally right in the situation. Like, if you seen that movie, if you've never seen that movie, War of the Roses, I would advise everybody to check that out.
It's a classic movie.
Was the house both of y'all's or was it yours?
No. At that time, the house was hers.
Leverage.
Leverage.
No, the house was
Previous episode.
the house was hers. I was maintaining it though.
Okay.
Like, the reason I came in there is, in the first place, we angle in. She needed a roommate.
Okay.
I said, oh yeah, I can come. We can just talk and chat it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
With my handsome self.
You need a buddy. You know what I'm saying? I came in. I saw the little eviction notice. I left a little money on the bed. You know what I'm saying? And from then I was just kind of locked in. I did like her. I had a crush. I was crushing on her for some years, off and on.
Right.
Because you did say y'all knew each other from years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, what happens is, like, we're all men here, and if any of y'all got some player, and you know that if you take the long way around to a woman, you always wait for that wedge in the door. If you don't see it, you don't go through it. But once you see it, you can pry it
ease your
open.
way in.
Yeah, and you
Right.
can you could take years for that. If you got the patience, you can always deal with little ones here and there, but the big ones, you wait for that moment, and then that's when you go in. Not you don't break in. But you don't push yourself in before it's time.
Right.
You got to pick the fruit when it's ripe.
Exactly.
And that's what got us in trouble in sin, but that's another conversation.
I don't know. Was that fruit right, or did he just tell her it was?
Exactly.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
Exactly.
Better have been good.
Yeah.
Because ripe is right.
Exactly.
Did anybody have on this side want to say anything
About what?
about what's going on? About the situation. Did you have anything to ask Alan?
Shit, it was horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I almost died. Okay, like, where in the situation did you realize that you were about to get hurt? Was it a surprise?
Yes.
It was just like a or
Yes, it
did you
was.
see the knife for a minute and you had time to say don't do it, or how was it?
No. It was. And I get that question. A lot, right? Because it's like, well, how you gonna just let her do it, right? And I didn't just let her. If somebody windmills at you, they're going to touch you a couple times before you're able to control her, right? And so that's what happened. She hit me like 4 times before I was able to control her. As a matter of fact, I can't even bend this finger, which is sort of a blessing because,
Hey, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing.
But once I was able to control her, or just stop her, it was like a stalemate. But I've been hit 4 times. My lungs was collapsing. Blood was shooting, spraying all over the wall like helter-skelter. And I didn't think I was in mortal danger. Only thing I was thinking in my young mind surrounding everything was like, ooh, you in trouble now. You about to sit your ass down or something, But anyway, I didn't know that was about to happen. Now, did I know that it was a dangerous situation? Yes, because earlier in this argument, there was a gun that was involved. Hers, not mine. right?
She had a gun too.
Yeah, she had a 9mm, and she had a history. And I learned she had a history of violence.
Right, where you
She was
get
ready.
The Black Orchid.
The Black Orchid, yeah, had to do it.
A gun and
He
knife in the
said the
history
Black
of violence.
Orchid, and we know, right? The shootouts that happened at the Black Orchid, most of them was the dancers.
Wow.
Police done died up there and everything. Did you have anything you wanted to say, Sean? I mean, Profound Record.
After all that, how long did it take for you to recover?
I spent a week in the hospital, and I remember being sad every day because I wanted to go home. And every time the nurse came in and asked what I wanted for food the next day, they do, I guess, this little menu thing. I just felt, just wanted to cry,
Wow.
But it took me a week to get out of there. They had to do the whole chest tube thing.
Right.
I had interns shoving tubes in me twice because they didn't do it right the first time. Had a nurse telling me, I'm trying to be cool. I was at a pamper party the day before, right? So I'm looking all good. And I look at the nurse. I'm like, am I going to die? I'm trying to just get some sympathy from the nurse.
Did you have your pump waves?
No.
No.
I'm laying down, my lungs are collapsing. I'm looking at the lady. I got blood all the way from neck to past my drawers, and then cut my clothes off of me.
Wow.
And I look at this lady and I say, am I going to die? And she was like, probably.
Wow.
I was like, oh, shit.
Wow.
She had no love
No
for you right
bedside
there.
manner.
Well, my sister, who's a nurse, she told me that they can't really lie to you.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so.
You're going to be okay.
You was that receiver.
Right. No, like, nah, son.
That was
Or
side
side.
right?
So that's so between her telling me that and I'm hearing interns saying, "Ooh, let me try it," I'm like,
Wow.
Man,
later
they test got me for the day. What the hell?
Right.
man. Then I found out later at the hospital. That was the hospital. I won't even name the hospital. It's nearby. I won't even name it, but they said that's the place where you go to die, and I was like, Jesus.
Gotta be sign
It's not gotta be.
That was probably
No.
Wow.
Sign
Sign
that
that
girl
first.
did me so good.
Yeah.
So-
Did me
wow.
so
But
good.
but to answer the question, how long did it take for me to recover? Physically, about a week. Emotionally, about 3 months. And then I entered into another relationship with a caring older woman.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, I don't even know. You remember her?
No, no, I'm just saying, yeah.
She was older.
She
and I didn't
older
even- I
women to
didn't-
do it.
I didn't even want to date her. I didn't want, but my cousin hooked me up with her, and then she finally called me. She had the most angelic voice. She was like 36. I was 27. She looked like she was 24. She had the game of a 50-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Them the good ones.
Well, but I went, I went into that broken.
Right.
Right.
I went into that broken, and when I came out of that relationship,
Yeah.
that's the one that's what healed me, because we had problems too. But I'm 26, 27. She's 35 probably dealing with dudes that's 50 and 60 with all that life experience. And I had enough to slow her down, and she loved me, but I just could not compete with the game and experience of a 50 and 60-year-old that was coming through her. But it was after that my heart got calloused, and I was like,
I'm
get
sorry,
callous, it's
but
over.
this is
27.
I did not want to bring. We gonna talk about this later, but you just said something, and I was telling Lou about it today. I said this has made me so angry. You just said the old woman healed you, right? You said it, even though you probably don't realize
she
you said
didn't
it.
heal me.
You said
I was healed
that's what
through-
healed you.
I was- The
you said that's what healed you, right? The relationship.
I don't want to convolute the whole situation.
No,
but
she
yeah.
didn't fix you, but that's what healed you.
That the experience.
And I'm bringing it somewhere else. This is only what I'm saying.
Okay.
I saw something. These new women. It was a meme or something.
Okay.
And she was saying, men come already healed, meaning she already wanted you to be fixed.
Okay.
And I was like, these lazy bitches. How?
I agree.
Remember, I say, I always say that women are lazy daters.
Uh-huh.
You want a man already healed? What are you there for? What do you think? What is your job? But again, this is not a topic I wanted to go in right now.
But I agree
because
with her.
you said that.
I agree with her.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Heal each
Okay. Well,
And I can tell you why I agree with that.
go ahead.
The person that heals you, just like a doctor would, right? When a doctor heals you, you're not going to stay at that hospital and with that doctor. If a woman is the one that's healing you, she's healing you for someone else.
Okay.
And if you
and I can go with that, but I'll go with also that's lazy if she don't want to take the time to sit up there and work it out and try to, go and try to not fix what she wants, but help it become good for her.
yeah, but even nurses retire.
Yeah, but you're still talking professions though. These are professions. These are professions.
Right.
I'm talking about somebody that's going to be in your life forever.
Well, that's the thing. If you plan for that person to be in your life forever, then I think that you should come healed. And you got all types of experiences and times that you messing around with all types of people. That's not that one forever, and we know it's not. That's where you get your stuff together.
And I feel if you don't help me get there, you don't know what was. You don't know what. If you don't know what was broken, you don't know what to help not get broken again. As a woman, meaning if I had a problem with trust, and me and this girl got together, and she got me over that, she healed me.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. If she's saying that she want me already to be able to trust a woman before I even meet her, then that's fucked up.
But that's not on her.
It's not on her.
It's not gonna work.
But it's fucked up that she feels that she shouldn't have anything to do with me being the man that she wants.
I don't even want her to be thinking about that. You know what I mean? I want her to be thinking about being the better person and being the best that she can possibly be. I don't want her to have to come in talking about he got to come in like this or come in like this. I can't have this. I can't have this. Or this had to happen. This had to happen. Like when her mind is set on making you better and not making herself better, then it's gonna fail flat out.
Okay. And I could agree with that because even like in my situation when I got married, I agree with a lot of what you're saying as well. But I think the flip side of that, where I can see your perspective, is I use my marriage as a prime example because, after coming through my first divorce and everything else, okay, yeah, there was a lot of damage that was done. But then you're also dating because I'm just going to flat out say it. And if I offend anybody, I'm sorry. But I think the majority of people in this generation are damaged anyway. Okay. We're all dealing with something, to some degree or another. We're always dealing with something. So I told my wife when we were still in the dating phase. Now, this was a long distance relationship. I said, we can do one out of two things. I said, we can either take all this baggage that we got, okay, and complain about who's doing this or doing that, or we could just pack it all up and go on a wonderful trip, okay? And that's what we chose to do. So we're looking at two individuals that have come from different damaged backgrounds, per se, and then whatever I can add to the healing for her, because again, I know, like he said, if it's based upon long term, because that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for it to be healed by her so I can go to the next person, because at that point I had already established that she was my person. All right. So at that point, we just going to take this baggage, okay, and I'm going to help you carry yours on the plane and you're going to help me carry mine on the plane, and we're going to have a wonderful trip at the end of the day. So I think that if you approach healing from that perspective, okay, then, I would side with you, but I also understand what you're saying as well, that if you're just getting to looking for healing just to get to the next one, okay, if that's your journey, fine, that's your journey. That's between you and whatever you profess to believe, okay? But if you are looking to make a lifelong commitment of a relationship, then, if you're already going in thinking that she don't have nothing to be healed from, or you don't have nothing to be healed from, I think you're delusional at the end of the day. But that's just me, though.
I mean, everything has to grow.
Right.
Anyway, everything has to move, it has to grow, and if it doesn't do either of those two things, it dies.
Right.
So you always have to be, aware of that.
Yes.
And I think that I don't think that you have to choose, or that you choose the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. I think you know it. I think at any point that you're questioning it, you're just not sure yet. But it's not hard. Like I believe in unconditional love.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of people don't even know what that looks like. I really feel though that I've touched it a couple of times. And it started out as when I was younger. It started out as unconditional love. Started out as an excuse to be able to not explain to a woman why you love me. Tell me why you love me. Those. So I would often tell them I had my go-to answer.
Right.
I got a couple of go-tos that are just platinum. Right. So why do you love me? I can't tell you why I love you. Right.
Right.
Like if I was to tell you why I loved you, right? Mm-hmm. And I list these things of why I love you, and then these things change. Mm-hmm. Do I then now not love you?
Right.
Because those were the reason I loved you.
Exactly.
So stop asking.
He said if I wrote a list.
Uh-huh.
That list again. Another episode.
Another episode. Y'all can peep it out on another episode.
They was against my list, but go ahead.
But when you, and I'm no relationship expert. I'm just an expert on my relationship.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But when you know, you can't see another way. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that we aren't the most compatible or even the best treating people with the ones that we want to be with forever.
True.
Just as a species. I mean,
we suck.
We're amongst men. I mean,
right.
We never leave women that we love. Mm-hmm. I mean, how often do men leave the women?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
almost never.
Almost never.
Right.
And when we do leave them, they always like, oh, it's not fair. I wasn't ready yet. You just can't leave me like that. And we be like, okay. And we go back. Let a woman decide to leave you. Because first of all, when a woman leaves you, understand, my opinion,
that's her decision.
that she left you 6 months ago.
Right. Yeah, she was already early. That's true. I do agree with that.
So by the time she verbally tells you, and you're the last to know, but by the time that she tells you, she already
checked out.
She's already got her new bank account. She done started hitting the gym. She got to get her finances, her job, and her new man right before she transitions into the next one. Mm-hmm. But the point is, when she leaves you, there's nothing you can say that'll make her change her mind and come back. Mm-hmm. You can't be like, "Oh, baby, I wasn't ready," or "It's not time for this yet," or "Give me another chance." It's never that.
You'll never do what they do.
Right. So because of that, I don't give any leave.
I got a quick question. What happened to the young lady in the situation?
That was going to be my question.
And how did you truly feel about it afterwards?
We'll start with the easy question first.
All right.
She ended up doing, I think, 2.5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Did you have to testify?
Wow.
Yeah, I was a witness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I straight up thought you was about to say like 2 months.
2 months?
No.
Women get away with stuff like that.
I know
So before we get back onto that, I wanted to finish off what we were talking about on that B side. I was saying it was the attitude, of a woman saying she don't want to, meaning that she don't even want to spend that time to put into you for you to be fixed. I think that's. And y'all can say differently, but I think that's messed up.
That just means she's not the one for you forever. Right, that's all that means.
Don't even be thinking about it.
I agree with that. That's where,
Concentrate on you.
Yeah, can focus on you.
Don't even think about it. Don't think about it.
I got it, but it's not coming from me. I'm saying a woman posting this, saying that
she wants her guys to be healed
to already be healed. That's what we were initially talking about, is that a woman putting that out there, that's how do you put that out there and want a man forever to be that husband that gonna be your rock forever, when that's what you initially put out there. That's and again, that's the attitude behind what was said. That's all I was saying.
But then to play devil's advocate with that, see, to me, somebody that would say something like that probably is broken themselves. Okay,
the preacher should never play devil's advocate. You should
he's under my feet according to my worldview. But you know the legal terminology.
But you shouldn't be advocating for the devil. Okay.
In which tense, though?
So let's,
are we talking about the most loved angel, or are we talking about the one that was casted out?
I'm talking about the one the one that was casted out.
Yeah. So now that that's all I wanted to say about that. Did you have anything to finish with what you were saying, Des?
No, I just wanted to know, because I know a lot of dudes who've been in domestic violence situations or whatever, and they kind of felt remorse for the young lady,
and that's where it gets to the harder part.
They start seeing what was happening to her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I know dudes who even didn't testify, and they was shot or something like that. Like the love in them took over after they got better. So I was just wondering, how was that?
Yeah. So let me flesh that out. I can try to do it in under a minute. Mm-hmm. I definitely was conflated, and confused a lot. But the one main reason that I pushed forward and actually advocated for them raising the charge from felonious assault to attempt to do great bodily harm less than murder. The reason why I advocated for that to happen was because after she stabbed me, and I realized that I was really hurt, and I was torn between holding on to her. She's holding a knife. I'm holding her wrist. I'm contemplating different scenarios to, we're on the second floor. I figure if I tossed her off the balcony, she'd survive. I'm really considering stuff
And
like
you've
this.
never been able to win that in court.
But you're trying to save your life.
But the reason why I did is because when I let her go and I ran down the hallway, literally jogged down the hallway to answer the phone to tell somebody to call 911. When I turned around, she chased me. And positioned herself and to get ready. And at this point, I'm starting to get weak and dizzy. But she raised that knife like a Chucky doll.
Oh, she had the kill shot.
She tasted blood.
Wow. Right.
She tasted blood, and she was mad. And I screamed like a little girl, slammed the door, and she left out, and maybe just snapped her kind of back.
Right. Wow.
But because she did that is the reason why I pressed charges. Now,
Right, because
I was
that's murder. Right, that's like murder.
Yeah, that's murder.
Now, if she had stabbed me like she did that little heart attack,
Right.
that little windmill thing that she did,
that was different.
and she snapped out like,
Right.
then I'd have been more confused.
But to chase after you and then
The thought, to seeing her raise that knife and look at me and then brace her back, she almost got defensive too. Maybe she thought that I was going to, I'm getting
No,
ready.
not that she chasing you. She ain't think that.
Right.
She thought she was about to stab you.
Yeah, so
And she just got surprised you turned around.
but I was always crazy about her in my own head that nobody really knew this, right? If we had got back together, because she was the sexiest person I met.
You got back together with her?
No.
Oh, I thought
I was about to say, what the
that's
heck?
what it sounded like you
Right.
said.
I say in my head. In my head.
All right.
Embarrassingly, if she had pushed back up on me, she probably could have pulled me back, and I would have had to sneak and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Your family would have disowned you.
Yeah, they would have. In the court, and they're trying to, because of course the defense attorneys were trying to paint me as a abuser and this, that, and the other. But I'm sitting in court with like 15 women surrounding me in protection. That was the only thing that was any dudes, because I don't really know that many dudes.
So the most important question:
Real shit.
how is the pussy?
Okay. This nigga.
You don't even remember.
7. It wasn't that. It wasn't great. It wasn't. But no. But performance.
Wasn't stab worthy.
That's what I'm wondering. Was it stab worthy?
Oh, I'm assuming you were talking about hers.
Yeah, I definitely
yeah.
thought about her.
I didn't stab her.
Was it worth you getting stabbed up like that? For real?
That's what I was trying to. That's where my mind went. Like, damn, I could. I see it.
No.
I know a girl that I get stabbed for.
I can't. No.
I know some pussy I get stabbed for.
That's
I don't want her to get.
Have you ever stabbed? Have you ever been stabbed
You
before?
got stabbed me in some place I won't die. You got stabbed me in some place I won't die, and then the pussy be worth it.
Wow.
No, I haven't.
No, there's no relationship. There was no relationship that is worth. There's no relationship that is worth violence at all.
No.
I agree.
No.
In any form.
Ain't
None.
Everybody should keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah. Ain't no sex worth doing my life. I'm sorry.
And that's the only reason why she went to jail too, because I thought that the police were really against me because they grilled the hell out of me. It was a gun in the house. It was, it was gun all through testimony. That her attorney was an idiot.
Man or a woman?
A man.
Okay.
A family attorney.
Lord.
And
Cousin Vinny.
they did not even. I'll tell you. There was one point in the courtroom where I told the attorney, he was trying to question me, and he was like, and I told him the same thing I just told y'all. I ran down my hallway, and when I turned around, she was standing right there at the threshold of the door.
Wow.
Right, which means
she quick.
Which means that she ran just like I ran.
Exactly.
Right now, he looks up at me and he asks me if I seen her run, and I tell him, I say. I remember it too, just like it was yesterday. I was like, he looked up and said, "Did you see her run?" And I was like, "No, I didn't see her run, but when I turned around, she was right there." And then I was a little, I'm irritated. And I remember what I told you. I'll circle people around. Mm-hmm. So I sat back for a second, and I got my little weak look on because I can perform too. I was like, she could have teleported there for all I know. Only thing I'm saying is that she was there when I turned around.
He said teleported.
And when I said teleported, he looked up at me like, he gave me the eye like, did he just
say that?
And so he turns around and he says, "Did you see her teleport?" And at that moment, the judge cussed him out, told him that I was the victim. He was an officer of the court. He don't need to be trying to, do this petty argument with me. I'm just saying, like, just like.
Get him, Judge.
Puppy with the sad eyes.
And I'm lying.
Get him, Judge. Get him.
All right, wait. I got a question. Look.
Yeah.
Has she ever said something like, keep on fucking with me, I'm going to kill you? Like, like stuff like that?
Let me be careful with this answer.
That's a good question. That's a good
before
question.
I wouldn't be playing with you like, I'll kill you.
You talking about before?
wouldn't be like, I'll
Has she
kill
ever
you. Don't play with
threatened
me.
you? Right? Is
Yeah.
that the question? Has she ever did she ever threaten you before?
No, she was extremely passive aggressive, but I did learn that there was times that she had stabbed a woman at work.
When y'all was together?
She did no.
Oh, okay.
She did.
Wait. This was not her first stabbing.
Yeah.
The charger with
I think she had. I think she had one of those little lipstick blades, like you get. It looked like a lipstick thing.
She had a ninja weapon.
So she just like to
It
prick
wasn't her
people.
first time. She was a habitual offender, and
Yeah.
they gave her.
No, she wasn't charged for the other stuff. These were like street stories.
Oh, still.
Right. She was a gangster. They
Yeah,
didn't
she
even press
was
charges.
bro.
Dang.
I wonder, was
That's how
she,
they was like, I ain't even pressing charges.
was she like Colombiana on
She
you or
got
something?
13.
I do. There's an alternate story that I do tell.
Chuck
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get an alternate story.
No, the alternate story though, that when I'm trolling somebody and they ask what happened, right? Because I do get this energy a lot, especially when I'm like, oh my god. First, women want to know what did I do to make her want to do that. Right?
Okay.
What the hell did you...
So because and I get offended by it, so what I do is I go the aggressive route. I say, well, hey, she was talking some stuff, and I swung at her, and she parried me, and she turned me around and put her arm around me and took the knife and hit me 4 times.
Damn.
Juice me.
Colombiana. What I say?
But
Colombiana.
right, and I paint this picture like
Even though that's not what happened.
and they're looking like.
Like, I shouldn't have asked.
Because they don't know if they want to root for her now or
Right.
not,
So, the reason that I called this, the title is You Seen My Blinker, Bitch. Do we remember the song by Will Smith?
Yeah.
Des, tell us a little bit about what happened in that song.
He was driving, and he was about to turn. He's about to change lanes. And the woman disregarded it. They got in an accident. He was in court, and they you saw my blinker, bitch.
And not only that, it's like 5 things had happened to him in that day that made him upset.
I remember.
Yeah, because we got to listen to the song again. It's like he had a rash on his ass. He had lost a hat he had just bought.
In the convertible. Is it his convertible?
In his convertible. He it was about 3 more things that happened that was real bad.
That boiled him up.
That boiled him up before the accident happened.
The rash.
So all this happened, then the old lady hit
on
him.
his ass.
Yeah, he did. He said I had a rash on my ass, plus I had a rash on my ass. He says that. So
I don't know if I would put that in my. Go ahead.
that's Will Smith though. So the thing is I thought about the anger that you have when somebody runs in behind you. That's if you can imagine how mad he could have been that day.
But
go ahead.
Mentally, it's where you at. Now, I'm not saying I got a nice car like he was probably driving, but a dude did. He ran into the back of my car the other day or whatever. I thought he was drunk. I looked in the back. It seemed like he was in my car in the back seat. Like he hit me.
You're a survivor, man. You do all kind of stuff this year.
After it was all over,
Right.
the police officer was like, hey, man, I want whatever you taking to make you as calm as you have been with this happening.
Oh, right.
Because
Okay.
in the end, I done been in so many situations, that shit don't help nothing. Excited, loud, crazy, all that has only made it worse my whole life. Where I'm to the point where the experience has showed me I gotta
that you got to
relax,
do it a
dog.
different way.
You got to be a different way.
And I guess that's why it was so important in that song that we did notice is so many things happened to him that day that got him to that point. So it was like 5, like again, it was layers of stuff before the old lady hit him. You really not supposed to be getting mad at no old lady for hitting your car. But it was the anger that he had, and of course he didn't say that he hit her. The cops came, they felt sorry for her. He ended up getting in trouble. So my thing is the anger that he must have felt.
And this was a true story too, right? I think he said this was a true story, right?
I don't know. I have no idea
Is
if
it
it
all
was
rap?
true. Huh?
Yeah.
It's right. It's no rap a true story. He sliding.
I don't remind them
He
making that shit.
I mean, they
That
claim.
that ain't nothing to make up.
But so. And we know he can get mad, but
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
He ain't a slapper though.
Yeah, he slapped people.
so
Not a real one.
So to get from there to what we're talking about, my question is the get back. I know you were angry, right?
No.
Was like this. You was calm
Well, after I got stabbed?
after you got stabbed. I mean,
Yeah.
with her, you were mad at her.
Well, we were arguing, right?
Okay.
We were, it's relationships go through a breakup phase, right? The breakup phase bubbles up into that argument where they finally say it's over. It was the relationship was over. It was, we just hadn't just declared it.
So after you stabbed her, you didn't want to return the favor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna check your Freud there for a second. Say that again.
Yeah, I looked at him too. Like he didn't stab her.
Oh, maybe I said right. I said it wrong. Right. Excuse me.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're right. He had it. What you say?
Yeah. I was like, I did check. I checked my forehead. Like what I say? But yeah, I was wrong. Thank you for catching that.
I was like,
Yeah. But that's what I meant. I said that wrong, but that's what I meant after she stabbed you.
Right. And that's what you're doing is normal, right? Because most people assume that when it comes to domestic violence, it's us
It's only one
that's
way.
doing it.
But
right?
it goes one way.
So that's why I can catch that.
Anything
Right, yeah,
wrong in a
but-
relationship is us.
Yeah. But
Basically,
all the time.
toxic masculinity.
And it should be.
oh boy, and that's another show.
That's another show. Yeah.
So the get back, did you want to return what happened? I mean,
No.
and okay.
No, as a matter of fact,
and
no.
that's my question is, and so this could help somebody else. Why didn't you want to return violence with violence?
Because I'm pettier and actually have a little bit more vitriol than that, right? What would be worse than stabbing her back?
Her doing time.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Her every day having to sleep, knowing
that.
think about you every single last day behind them bars,
Right.
and regret.
And that's what I'm
And that's
saying.
my young self. That's my young self.
But this is my point. This is what people need to hear. That's what I'm trying to. This is what we're doing here. This is what this is about. They need to hear the antidote. They need to hear They need to hear another reason to not go get her. If she
because
do
by then I had a lot of friends from here to New York, and they were
I'm
just
sure,
they were
and
all
they wanted to help, and they wanted to.
yeah,
Don't worry about it. You heal up. I got this. Just tell me where she at.
The only reason that, and I never even talked about this before though, but the only reason why there was no get back is because I literally said the words, "I didn't touch her. You don't touch her."
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And there were some times within the next couple of months. Damn, I can't believe I'm actually saying this.
Okay.
There were some times that I actually really thought in my own mind that she needs to call me up every time she takes a breath and thank me.
And thank you.
Real shit.
Just internal thoughts, though.
Yeah, I mean, and if she ever sees this, maybe she might call you and thank you.
No, she did call me.
Okay.
Like 5 or 6 years later, after
really?
she got out, she needed her record expunged.
Did she apologize?
No, wait a minute. No, she didn't call. I got the paperwork, and them dummies
sponge.
gave me all her information.
And you called her.
I did call her.
Oh boy! And how was
And
this conversation?
I called her to elicit an apology.
Did she give it?
So by doing that,
Right.
I apologized first.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry. It was not mature. I should have been mature enough to leave the situation. There was no reason why we should have stayed together that long that it came to that. It was a real apology.
Right.
But it had ulterior motives.
Right.
I needed for my closure the apology from her.
right.
So I gave her that. And this nigga just said, okay.
look, I'm about to say, y'all fuck again. Like,
I can't stand
I was like, I'm gonna write this parole board. You're not getting nothing expunged.
She just stabbed me again.
Right.
No, but
If Lou was here, I would say, Lou, can I call her a bitch?
but 5 hours later, she called me back, and the reason that she did that was because she was either at work or on break,
Okay.
or around some other people
that
and she
didn't know
could-
her background.
And she just really couldn't. She just really couldn't speak to it. So she
Right.
called me back and she did apologize. that was the only time that I've ever talked to her since that, since before.
She
and
working
after
in the
that
call
time.
center. She working in the call center. It was like, hey, motherfuckers right there.
I'm like, what restaurant was she working at? She could
working next to
at fast food, like McDonald's or what?
Wherever it
And
was, you can't be all up with your business out.
And to be honest with you, this was so much time had passed that I didn't want to be in the way of her getting her stuff expunged.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
she wasn't part of my world. I have what I call a tree of experiences in life, and she was not part of it. And there's a few people in my life that I really have like strong incidents and really strong love for, but they're not part of the primary branches of my life. And I look at what I have now and I trace it backwards, and I look at all the people that were important to make that happen. And there's some really key people in my life that aren't part of that at all,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just wish I can grow to be like you, dog, because motherfucker stabbed me. We won't be talking right.
My healing came in two parts, though.
Yeah.
First, my healing came in callousing, right? So I had a hole in my soul. That wasn't even from the girl who stabbed me, but I had a hole in my soul, and it got calloused. When it got calloused, I was like, that's when you start getting a little heartless.
Now, when you say you got calloused, it means you got hard on the outside?
I didn't even realize that I wasn't healed. I was just scarred
The
open.
love ain't there, right?
Did you go to therapy?
No, I tried to go to therapy after I got stabbed, but
Okay.
I kept forgetting to go. Legitimately forgetting. Like, I wanted to go, but every time it was that day, my mind shut it out.
Wow.
I didn't do it.
Your mind didn't want to deal with that shit no more.
It wasn't until Bina was born that I recognized that I wasn't healed, and then that I was.
And then what year was she born?
2012.
Okay, so that was 11 years after the incident. You said you got
She happened in 2001.
Yeah, 2001.
Right,
So that was
years
wow.
later. Wow.
But the hole was before her, which is probably why I was so.
That's what I'm saying. That was the pump waves and the light skin and the hair shows and shit.
But you also remember, I had a woman back then that was like on the side of me all the time.
No, I don't remember that. No, I don't remember that. I just remember Alan being Alan.
Yeah, but I was like that because I had a strength with her.
Okay.
From a young age, and I didn't know she was like a yin and yang to me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And that would be the older lady. No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
The older woman gave me the game,
She gave you the game.
and she's the one who, after her, my past was never a relevant factor in any relationship anymore. I erased it, compartmentalized it off.
Is she still around, the old lady?
Yeah, she exists.
She's still around.
Is she sashaying? I remember I said I want something to sashay.
Don't do that.
I needed to teach me.
Oh no, she's a player. She'll take you for a ride.
Hook me up.
Don't do
Hook me up.
right now. Like,
You don't want that ride.
If she got
He
a,
said you want that right.
got that weather's original ready for you.
No, she's got game.
if she got a skirt, I want to holler at her. If she got the butterscotch on the
got
table
that butterscotch.
and the strawberry candies.
Yeah.
That's what I
that
want.
ointment too. She gonna get you together.
Yeah, smell like olive olay. Yeah.
You got to understand that a man will chase a woman until she catches him.
All day.
And she can run faster with her skirt up than you can with your pants down.
That's what
and
the
then
lady
what's more
said
and
last week.
what's more dangerous than that is the woman that knows it. Because we as men, we really don't know. We beat our chests all the time, and it's like the smartest person in the house is always the one that's being told to shut the fuck up.
All day.
Or the woman. I mean, I'm just saying, the man can be smaller than the woman, and he can still be telling her to shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you from experience, you don't really want that ride.
Okay, well, if you out there, Gertrude,
Sign him up.
He said Gertrude.
if you out there,
I'm like,
right,
Gertrude.
if you out there, Gertrude,
Call on
Her name ain't no Gertrude.
L'Oreal,
Bernie.
L'Oreal,
Call on Rose.
Rosalie, tell Rosalie to hook me up.
Rosalie. Okay.
Janie Mae.
Dan, you got anything going on?
Gladys.
Oh no, yes, because they'll return your energy. I mean, the women that got the
She
game.
ain't got the energy to return.
Let me tell you, no, the good ones will boomerang it on you,
Tell
right?
Gladys she ain't got nothing on.
Depending on your character, will determine whether or not she's going to have you take her to Applebee's or Mojin Lao.
Yeah, that's another episode. We talked about that, right? We talked about Applebee's pussy.
Oh,
but,
You going to the Sweet House?
then
Sweet
Ponderosa. We going to Ponderosa.
Shut the hell up.
You got anything going on, Dan?
I got a bunch of shit.
We got like 5 minutes.
Just shit. Follow Des Cortez, man. That's all you gotta do, and I'll be able to show you. It's too much to talk about. We only got 5 minutes, dog.
You had a minute of that. Now we got 5 minutes still.
We still got 5 minutes. It's a lot, man. All right, man.
Y'all funny.
Martin Luther King movie's coming out in May.
All right. The Martin Luther King movie?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. You ain't said nothing. I remember you talking about shooting it.
Yeah, the one that had the dreads. The last summer with the dreads.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a Martin Luther King movie.
Yeah.
And it's
The
coming
Shot
out.
Us movie?
May, huh?
Go ahead, you messing
Say what now about it?
messing with you. I said you did a Shot Us movie.
No. With this dread. It'll be a premiere, red carpet.
Yeah, we'll be premiere red carpet. I'll let you know.
So
we
make sure we promote. Promote it.
Yeah, please do. And then
You gonna have Martin Luther King come in?
I've been talking to him the whole week, and he keep talking about he's busy.
Oh, y'all better quit.
He said he can't get out right now.
In your dreams.
Like, I can't get out right now. What you got going on, Pastor Side?
Yeah, y'all funny. Lord Jesus, y'all something else.
We got some that handle.
Y'all are funny. Not too much. I'll be
Still
I'll
having
be
a dream.
Yeah, I'll
Still
be
having a dream.
If you happen to be in the Sylvan Lake area, which I know nobody on this table would be.
No.
Silver Lake.
Yeah, that's way on the other side over there. But they having a local church convention, so I'll be one of the featured speakers there Saturday and Sunday. So I'll
At
be speaking.
Silver Lake. Is
Silver
that where
Lake.
About a
Jason
whole,
stays?
2 hours
No, that's
away?
Crystal Lake.
That's Crystal Lake.
That's Crystal Lake.
Is
Oh,
Silver
Jesus,
Lake
yeah.
anything by where Crystal Lake is?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
Positive?
You sure
Trust
they didn't
me.
change the name?
Crystal Lake was in Michigan, right?
Yeah, it was in Michigan. Yeah, it was in Michigan.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, even though there's a lot of white folk out there, but still.
Better make sure you don't go to a sundown town.
You make sure you got the Lord on your side.
It'll be one of them
definitely.
sundown towns.
And
They
then
be like,
also,
hey.
as you already know, I got my podcast that I do. Come let us reason together with
On Saturdays.
On Saturdays at 5.
At 5.
You're on Streamcasting Podcasting. So yes.
Do I gotta say your name or can I just look at you? I mean, you just look at me like what I want. You look at me like what I want.
Like he ain't know he was next.
Like,
Damn, nigga, it's your turn.
oh, you got anything going on, brother?
Man, I got nothing going on but the rent. But, no, I got too much going on.
Well, I just want to say, I just completed gunplay the other day.
Oh, dope.
So that'll be coming out soon.
You like your character?
Yeah, oh, I love my character.
Okay.
I got the dog. They gon' nigga, I'm sitting
can't
across.
wait.
Right,
I
I'm
can't
sitting
wait.
across from you.
I know it.
So,
I can't wait to see
right. When believe me, when I go to do a role, nigga.
Is that what that picture was from?
Yeah, that's what that
Okay,
picture
sweet.
was from.
Okay, cool.
Just know, because I sit across from
Do
you.
you know that you got to roll over me? You know that, right?
Pat
You ain't
yourself-
know that, did
Pat
you?
yourself on the back, bro.
I don't believe.
Not necessarily over me. They had already paid me, and then they went with you.
What movie was that?
Asbury Park.
Oh shoot.
You know what?
Pat yourself on the back.
But
bro.
he told me something else.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he told me something else.
They had already paid me to come from LA, all that shit. And he was just like, we changed the main character, so the skin tone changed for this and this and this and this.
Yeah, you
He's
wouldn't
like,
have-
keep the money.
Me and old boy looked like we was father and son.
Yeah. So that's why I say he did. But
We
I'm
did.
saying, I don't know if you ever knew that or not.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. And then my wife
movie
in
with
there,
Don Cheadle?
I had been worked. Me and her had did like our first play together.
Okay.
So our chemistry was.
Yeah.
She kicked me in
It
my
had to be
ass.
strong if they say keep the money and you know what I mean?
We wrap. We got one more minute. Can you tell us about your podcast?
Yeah, so I have a podcast called. I'm starting it, so I put it on YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get my first 1,000 followers and stuff like that. It's brand
What is
new.
it called?
It's called The Real F Allen.
The Real F Allen.
That's my channel. F-ALAN, The Real F Allen, and the podcasts are 1 minute for the news, where I do a 1 minute news podcast every day, and then once a week I have a conversation with F Allen. So they're both on there.
What's the main parts of your news show? Is it like current events? Is it national? Is it city stuff?
No, mostly it's not local. It's basically I do the trending topics and stuff like that. And I pick one or two. Like, for instance, my very last one that I did before the weekend broke was I talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger digging himself a hole. Mm-hmm. Then I got a little AI co-anchor now, too. So.
And before we finish, that's sweet. And before we finish, I just wanted to let them know, too, that you are a great photographer. You haven't said that. You haven't said that yet. Like, when he did my headshots, it was like 9 lights. This nigga had like 9 lights and different buttons and shit to make this light do that and that light do that.
I am a photographer first, specializing in headshots now. I used to work heavily in the beauty industry.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure.
I need some myself.
And then lose the actor too. So
I'll be checking you out. Mm-hmm.
So that's just it, y'all.
That's just it.
We out.
All right.
We don't want to lose half this show.